Happy Homebrew Wednesday, cheers. Got a nice little beer here. This is the bitter from last week. Still looking pretty good, look at that. Awesome. Still tasting really good. I'm really impressed with this beer, how it's turned out. Only 3.9, but that is decent for 3.9. I think version 2 will definitely try and get it up to 4.5% at least. Try and build that body a bit more. It's good, it's not perfect, but you know, it's 3.9%. I mean, come on. Very nice. Anyway, I can't stay long. It's my wife's birthday today. I just slipped away. I've told her I'm going to go and leave the bin out, come in here and get a drink. In actual fact, I am getting a drink and I have left the bin out. But there's one other thing I needed to do. I needed to gelatin a beer. So I kegged a beer yesterday, which was a lager. So I'll show you how I do that, because I don't think I've ever shown how I gelatin beers. It's very simple. So this is the no mess, very quick method. Okay, one of the most underrated things in homebrewing for me is the humble jam jar. Okay, use this for loads of stuff. When I say I use this, I mean I've got loads of them. Use it for this, for using it in gelatin. I use it for hops. I use it for putting yeast into. It's loads of different stuff. Got a lid, sealed. It can be sanitized like it is now. So that's what we use. So this is the Dr. Hans method, okay? So it's very similar to what he does. So this is the gelatin I use. This, you get this in the supermarket, packs of like 3 or 5 or something like that. Quid, 2 quid, something like that. It's not very much. Dr. Oetker in the baking section. I would tend to use 1 packet unless it's like heavily soiled. The beer's heavily soiled. And then I'll use 2, but this is a lager, it's not going to do it. So what we need then, we need our jam jar, we need a kettle of water, it's boiled, on this, and we also need some gloves. So I have these like heavy duty marigolds. I think they're outdoor marigolds, these are, and these are a lifesaver, especially in the winter time when I'm trying to clean up outside. So, but you need these because that's boiling water. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's this is just off the boil like 5 minutes. So as long as it's hot enough to dissolve. So you put the water in first, just getting this ready. Don't need an awful lot, just enough to dissolve the gelatin. Say about that. I mean, if you have boiling water, you could sanitize the jam jar in the first place and skip starch on or whatever. So one thing it says on the pack is always add the gelatin to water and not the other way around. I'm not sure why. Don't know if it's like in Lost when you stop putting the numbers in. Okay, so that's our gelatin in, lid on, and then give it a shake. And this is why you need the gloves, because this gets hot. All that shaking is helping dissolve. Not putting anything else in, not putting spoons or anything in. Nothing. See, it's all starting to dissolve. And then this just goes straight into the keg. Now normally I would do this when I'm kegging. I don't do this to all my beers, but yeah, we are going to do it this one. So that's us dissolved. That literally goes in the keg, and that's it over. Okay, you can see I still haven't sorted out the whole spaghetti junction thing. I will do. I know I have to keep threatening it, but someday. Right, so the lager's in this one here. I said normally I would do this at the start. You can do this and put it in if you're doing anything like really hoppy. You can do it like a closed transfer type thing. Put it in the keg first, but yeah, I've done it once before or twice before. One time I completely messed it up. So I tend to just do it as I'm kegging. So you don't want the wait too long as well too, because it starts to set. Okay. Dump it in, lid on. Lid on properly. Get it burped, and that's it. Job done. Usually takes a couple of days and it'll be clear. Basically that's what you're left with, just I'll clean up. Every time I use this I put it in the dishwasher. So it's not self-sanitizing, but you know what I mean? It is sanitizing when it comes out. The lid goes on, it goes back. And then a little bit of Star San just before I reuse it. So yeah, that was the lager. Didn't do a brew day video on it. In fact, I kegged 2 beers. There was that one, and then there was also a smoked porter. And I didn't do brew day videos in either of those. They were like Wednesday midweek brew days, because I'm trying to use it on my holidays from work. So I didn't do any footage of those. But we'll see what they're like. I needed to get something on for Christmas. So the lager, obviously, it's a proper lager, German lager, Herzbrucker. Is it Herzbrucker? No, it's Hallertau Traditional, the hops are called. So it's on. Obviously, it's a lager. It'll need time to condition, but we'll have to wait and see what it's like. That's why I wanted the gelatin, just in case someone comes round or whatever and they want like a beer, you know, without giving them like a smoked porter. I mean, that's rude, giving people smoked porters, isn't it? When they come around, it's okay for me to give you a smoked porter right there, but for normos, when they come around. So yeah, there was that, and it was like 4.5%. It only got down to 10-11, which was higher than what it should have been. I was expecting it to get down to 1009 or 1008, but there you go, 4.5%. And then the smoked porter was a problem. The smoked porter ended up 4.5% as well, when it was supposed to be like about 6%. What happened there, I don't know. It started off low, so missed my OG, and it ended up too high. It stalled basically at 10-20, and I managed to squeak it down to 10-18, and it was really annoying that it did that. And it was on for like, I think it was fermenting for like 4 weeks or something like that, something crazy. But it was at like 26 degrees because I was desperately trying to get another couple of points out of it. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. I've done that recipe before, but and it was lovely, but it was like 6% lovely. So we'll have to wait and see what that turns out like. Now this version I have upgraded it by adding a bit of orange to it, because I remembered about a beer that I got from Swampin Brewing, New Zealand. He sent me a beer years ago, and it was the one that really got me into smoked beers. I'd like smoked beers before that, but just every now and again, but I really like smoked beers after I had his. So he had basically put bitter orange peel, sweet orange peel, and Cointreau in that. That's kind of what I did. I used orange zest instead of sweet orange, with the Cointreau as well. So I mean, it was already sitting in here, the Cointreau on the orange peel, so I kind of had to force it through. So I just tossed it in and hope for the best. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know what that's going to be like, whether it's going to be drinkable or what, but we'll have to just take it as it comes. I think maybe let it condition for a while. So yeah, I could be ended up with no beers at all at Christmas. Now I did do a brew day yesterday, because the 2 beers were filmed at the 2 fridges, so I had to get a brew on yesterday. This whole place is just smelling of, you know, that smell of fermenting beer. It smells like that. It's looking good. I'm not hearing it hiss though, which is a bit worrying. Why is that? It's hissing now. It's hissing now. It's the main thing. So yeah, that's an American IPA, which is going to be about 6%. It's between 6 and 6.5%, something like that. So it's quite a big one. I ended up with one of those 5 kilo bags of, someone said on the internet, on eBay, was selling 5 kilo bags of Citra, and yeah, I managed to snag one. So I've got a ton of Citra. The worst about it is too, I just bought like half a kilo from bloody Cross My Loaf, which is annoying. But what do you do? So it's, the working title for it is called Humming of Citrus. So it's Citra, it is Cascade, and Columbus the bitter. And the yeast I'm using, I've got some 644 left over from an overbuilt starter I had. And I know it's not, that's more of a fruity yeast, but I just figured I'd get rid of it because it's a liquid and it's been sitting in there for a while, and just, you know, just want to get it going. It's definitely viable, obviously, as you can hear. That's no way. So yeah, I'd probably need to go back inside. I'll maybe grab a top up here and I'll go back in. So happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers, I'll see you next week with any luck.